not failure, but the extreme difficulties in the use of the judicial resolution and prosecutorial approaches to getting back these monies, getting people to pay enough tax or get into the tax bracket that's actually motivated this bill. And it's not just about the judicial process of this country. It is the judicial process all over the world. Because we are witnesses, and this time is actually very important and very explanatory of the situation on ground. We have so many people who even the anti-corruption agencies or tax authorities have taken to court with palpable supposed evidences of infractions, of non-payment, of non-declaration, of short payment, and for so many years, either they have been discharged and acquitted, or for technical reasons, nothing can be done, or the cases just lie there and remain in the courts. Also internationally, it is the same thing. If you recover, if we even get to the issue of the loot, the Abacha loot of 2005, the Obasanjo-led government administration then entered into an agreement with the Abacha family, and a $1 billion was to be returned to Nigeria, and $300 million was to be kept by that family under that settlement agreement. We are aware that about $700 million was returned. As we speak, not all of that money have come back, and not because Nigeria does not want to get back this money, because judicial in jurisdictions within which these funds are held have gone to court and put in some economic difficulties that have made it impossible to come in. For instance, in America, has about $480 million due to Nigeria for repatriation, which even Femi Falana had spoken extensively about this, that Attorney General was spending so much more money on it. They have filed an injunction in a court in England over the return of that money, which is not even resident in their jurisdiction, $300 million of that money, asking that England should not repatriate that money for reasons they argue in that injunction. And as we speak, since 2010, 2012, that have been lingering. Switzerland, in that case, we have $321 million that is due and explicitly completed to be repatriated to Nigeria. After Nigeria had paid all charges, all agreed expenses, inclusive of legal fees and consultancy charges.
Permit me to jump in here. Permit me to jump in. Let me just ask this. You know, while you started, you said once this is passed, it will be retroactive. But you have lawyers who will immediately tell you, how in the world do you expect that to work? Because they always tell you, no, when the law is passed, you don't expect it to be retroactive.
No, I think, well, it's not retroactive. I didn't use that language carefully, really, because what we are saying, this is an interventionist law. And that is why it's not a law that will last longer than the period the passage of the law, the lawmakers will create. The bill had proposed 3 years, but we just did that for purpose of argument so that in the past of through stakeholder intervention, through legislative intervention and the conditioning, we could come with 6 months, we could come with 1 year, or whatever time. It is just a time that is created, that period, to use and look at. And the law says that it is only for matters that happened up until the day it becomes law. So it's not like it's a retroactive law. And we're not saying that we are going to charge somebody who have paid tax before. We are saying those who have not paid tax, monies that have not been declared. So there's no retroactivity in it. It's not going to ask you, you paid 10 naira, why didn't you pay 20 naira? It's not going to look at your old assessments. But it's asking you, if you had not paid or declared these monies, you should now declare them. And that's exactly what the executive order did. Executive order is saying all those who have not registered for tax, all those who have underdeclared, all those who have not paid enough, all those who are now found they have additional income, any liability whatsoever, that's what the order said it. And it said 90 days. And it's also for the period that have not immediate event. So it's not a retroactive law in the sense that, because if you have been retroactive, you are going to start punishing those who have paid tax and you're asking them to pay more. That is not what it is. And that is why it is voluntary. You are the one to come out and say, oh, I didn't declare this income. I didn't declare this asset. Therefore, I'm coming to take advantage. Because if I come ordinarily without this law, It's like the carrot of the stick of the anti-corruption operations. The stick would have been on me, and that's probably why I've not been coming out. So this is the carrot to encourage them to come. Those who had not been under the process before now, for income that had not been declared.
All right, because we need to go to break. But just hang on. We'll be back in just a moment and get your concluding thoughts on this. Don't go away.